Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Mark Phillips, a good friend of mine, a correspondent. He lives in England. He sent me a note yesterday. Said, Steve, check this out. Some things are universal. If you've got roads and cars, well, then you get traffic. If you got supercars, then you got people goofing off in traffic. So police seize supercars over antisocial driving. And so apparently they crack down on this in every place that they have it. So we've had stories in America where people take cars out and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and their cars get impounded by the police for that kind of behavior. And of course, now here we are. This is happening over there. So Amy Dexter wrote this for the BBC News. 9 supercars were gone in 60 seconds after being seized following antisocial driving, according to the police in Essex. So gone in 60 seconds, of course, is a reference to a pair of movies. Essex police said it received numerous reports about antisocial driving around the M25 at about 7 o'clock in the evening on Thursday by cars including a Rolls-Royce, a McLaren, and an Audi R8. The Rolls-Royce is not something you hear about people really doing this kind of stuff with over here, but over there maybe. So within 15 minutes of officers being deployed, the cars were brought to a halt and seized, according to the force. A superintendent there said their driving was not only erratic, but selfish. The level of danger involved was astounding. Now, it's true that people do crazy things in their cars, but you have to understand that someone doing something crazy in a McLaren or one of these other expensive cars, they are taking a risk. I mean, I drive cars in traffic. I'm worried about people hitting my car just when I'm driving around. But the police and motorists told them they were exhausted by the bumper-to-bumper antics of a group of cars. Now, I'm starting to wonder about some of these quotes because the 9 cars being gone in 60 seconds, I know what they're getting at, but the cars weren't really stolen. And bumper-to-bumper antics, really? I don't know. Seems like an odd description of a group of cars. There was also a black Porsche and a white and black Lamborghini reported to have been driven recklessly around the M25 out towards Tilbury on the A13. And again, I'm not familiar with the area, so I apologize. The black Lamborghini, or the black and white Lamborghini, does, of course, make me wonder if Ed Bolian right now is going, wait, someone's talking about Lamborghinis. Ed Bolian's got the channel Vin Wiki, and he's got a thing for Lamborghinis. And by a thing for them, I mean he owns a bunch of them. Or at least he used to. I think he may have sold a few of them. Officers said the cars were doing things like braking sharply, forcing other drivers to take action to prevent collisions. The superintendent added this must have been quite a sight with their hazard lights flashing and speeding dangerously 1 minute, then slowing abruptly. Thankfully, our roads policing officers brought the situation to a safe conclusion very quickly, and no one was hurt. Just their wallets. Now, he's basically saying we're going to get them where it hurts, and that's their wallet. Officers said the drivers then filmed themselves standing on the A128 at Orsett. And that, again, is another thing we often talk about, is people do crazy things in cars or on motorcycles. They'll post the video on YouTube, and then the police will see it and go, oh, that's interesting. That's evidence of a crime. Oh, that happened recently. Statute of limitations hasn't run yet. Oh, we can make an arrest. And we've heard of people being arrested for things that they filmed themselves and put on the internet. And then, of course, we've also seen where somebody has filmed themselves doing something, such as driving very fast, and then waited a year and a day to post the video because they were thinking, gee, maybe there's a 1-year statute of limitations on this that I might want to be thinking about. So the cars were seized under the Road Traffic Act, Section 59, which gives police the power to seize a vehicle being driven antisocially. Now, I hope there's a better definition of that, because I've seen people driving antisocially who are just doing rude things in cars, maybe perhaps making sign language with their hand, but not American Sign Language. Or, honking their horns or doing things like that. But we get it. Now, the cars must be claimed within 14 days, according to the story. implying that if they're not claimed within 14 days, then they probably get disposed of, maybe sold at auction or something. However, you have to think about some of the stuff that's not in the story because that's where the story ends. Number one, I bet there's fines and costs associated with this. So there's probably a bunch of fines you got to pay, court costs, things like that even, and then possibly points on your license. I think they've got those in England. So you get some kind of strikes against your license that add up and maybe drive your insurance costs up. But also, here's the thing. I used to drive a tow truck. So when I start thinking about supercars being towed, you can't just hook up these cars and drag them around like you could in the old days with a car. So you're going to flatbed it someplace. But even so, flatbedding a car like this still takes a bunch of special attention because many of these cars have got like this much ground clearance. And I can tell you that I own a couple cars that would have a difficult time. At least you'd have to be very, very careful. And one of them is it's hard to see that now, isn't it? But it's a backdraft Cobra replica, and one is a 1999 Dodge Viper. And the Dodge Viper's got just a few inches of ground clearance. And that car was delivered to me in an enclosed trailer. And to get it off the trailer took setting up the ramp for about 10 minutes. Put the ramp down, put boards down, play with the boards, line the boards up, and do it. And even then, it was really close on the ground clearance. That front air dam is really, really low. So Lamborghini likewise, and I suspect the McLaren and the Audi maybe even. And so what I worry about is some tow truck driver who's told, get this thing out of here, and it's in the evening, and they're on a busy road. I'm wondering if there's any damage done to the vehicles. Now, I'm not implying that tow truck drivers today can't do these kinds of things correctly. I'm sure they can. But I just happen to know that a lot of times when you're being rushed at the side of the road in the evening, it's late, and you're trying to get a car out of there, there might be some kind of issues with how the cars got handled. And so I can tell you, as a person who owns nice cars, the idea of having to hand my keys to someone and go, fine, take it, I'll come get it in a day or two, really, really bothers me. But that's why I don't drive antisocially in England. I apologize for the bad cuts. It's early in the morning. I'm just getting over one of those summer colds. And so I'm coughing occasionally. And instead of making you sit through it, I cut them out and make them blend as well as I can. And it doesn't always work as well as I like. So, but Mark Phillip, thanks for sending the story. It's good to know that human behavior is universal. And I'll leave that one in. I sounded like Greg Brady. Or no. Who was the middle one? Tom Brady. No. Hang on. Yes, I just got up and walked off camera to remember the name of Peter Brady when the Brady Bunch had a singing group. The good old days. And they had a song about Peter's voice changing, but that's what I sounded like a minute ago. But I'll cut that out so it'll actually be sooner than that. But it's like time travel. So there you go. Mark Phillip, thanks for sending it. From the BBC, and Amy Dexter writing it. Police seize supercars in England over antisocial driving. Questions or comments, put them below this. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. It'll probably work better if you plug it in.